Hi everybody, it's John Thompson. Today I'm going to talk to you about my latest acquisition. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Also Happy Hanukkah and Happy Kwanzaa. I got for the holiday a model of the USS New Jersey. It's Tamiya's 1/350th model. The model is a very nice model. This is my second building of the same model. I built one about 25 years ago, and I've learned a lot since then. This is the 1982 mold. I was able to find a vintage model of it, the New Jersey, in the original shrink wrap, which was one of the reasons why I chose it as a Christmas present. So there are the pieces were all there. Everything was good. It was all wrapped up in great shape. The one complaint that I did have is that the decals are old, so you have to be very careful. They're very brittle. They're not like fresh decals that you would get. So I had to order some new decals just in case, because I wasn't sure the condition of these decals, mainly with the flight deck markings that I had to work on this model. I kind of sort of wanted to put them on before anything else just to see what happens. I'm discovering decals are very hard to find online. A lot of companies like are in Canada, like Hawk Graphics, and some other companies too as well, like Microscale. Companies are also discontinuing decals, so it can make the search a little frustrating. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the work that I've done so far on the ship. I'm going to show you the port side here. There you go. It's basically a typical one-piece hull. And I got just the basic superstructure. Now, I did glue the decks down. I'm not going to make revolving turrets on this version. It's more trouble than it's worth. And I'm really going to glue the turrets down. I sort of had that idea from the Texas. Texas did not give you the caps to mount the gun turrets down on the deck, so I didn't really want to be bothered with that as in building this model. But I'm going to show you now the stern deck here. These are the decals I was telling you about. I had to put these in. Now they did break when I put them on. They tore, so I actually had to piece them back together again. It was a pain in the neck, but I was able to do that. Now the hull itself here is unpainted. I have to paint the hull yet, but I do want to show you a technique I was trying out. I was kind of curious, waiting for my supplies to arrive that I've ordered. I ordered a ton of paint and photo etch. I got the Edward photo etch set for this, so it'll be nice actually to put some real stairs on. I removed some molded on stairs on parts of the ship here, so I'm going to show you what I have so far here. I painted the waterline on the ship here. As you can see, it came out really nice and straight. Now, normally I always tell you guys about the close enough method, where I basically will paint up to a line by hand and then make a boot striping out of paper. But because of the irregularities of this particular boot stripe, what I did was I wound up using blue painter's tape. And unfortunately, with painter's tape or kind of masking tape, what happens is you will get bleed through in a couple of spots. I did, but I can live with it. It's not, I'm not going to cry over it because I don't have the final finish on that. I'm going to paint over that. It doesn't really affect the texture of the model too much. So that's something that I'm using. I'm using Tester's neutral gray for the hull. I'm going to put that on next. And then I want to also work on masking off on the port side when this paint dries. I'm going to let this dry overnight. I get all day tomorrow to work on this, but just want to give you a heads up on this model. Like I said, it's a nice model kit. It builds fairly well. There's a good amount of detail to it, I would recommend it. If you're in the market for a challenge, the model really will build up to a nice kit if you follow the directions. The one thing, though, that I do have to remark about Tamiya since the 1982 release is that the directions are actually better on the later releases of the model. Now, you can also get deck fittings, like the actual printed wood decks for this. I've seen them, Pontos makes them. One of the manufacturers, they'll do a whole kit, including photo etch. White Ensign makes parts for this model as well. And I had to find the other little decals. There's all those little E's and the DCs that you see along the bridge wings and on the funnels. So I have those decals on order. So they're going to be fresh new decals that are going to hopefully supplement the set. And to cover myself in the event of get my decals disintegrating on me from the Navy numbers and letters, the critical decals, I ordered new letters and numbers just to be on the safe side. The model itself actually seemed to go together very nicely. When I built the model last, I had a problem with the seam and how that center deck joined in. I discovered by painting the section black where it butts to the center deck, it actually hides that joint. The joint isn't as bad as it was. It's not apparent. And hopefully when I finish detailing the model, a lot of that stuff is not going to be seen. The railings will help enhance the model greatly, so I'm looking forward to getting them. So it's a matter of what the kit has in it, the photo etch kit has in it, and the kit parts that I have to replace. So right now, until I get the photo etch, I'm kind of keeping it very basic. I'm working on sub-assemblies. I pretty much roughed up turret number 3. I glued it together, painted the face of the gun turret, put the gun barrels on. Tamiya models are nice because you actually have the buckler bags molded onto the 16-inch gun turret. So that's kind of a good thing there. So I'm going to be doing a lot of painting and finishing on that gun turret. So like I said, it's the third one. I'm going to be gluing them in place. I wanted originally to make the turret smooth, but it's kind of a pain in the neck. And I sort of figured that, the barrels don't elevate. It's not like a Revell model where you can elevate the barrels as well. The trumpeter models don't really have that anyway with their USS Texas and USS New York. So like I said, I want to try something different. This is a great find for Christmas, so I was very happy when I got this. Brings back a lot of good memories, so I'm looking forward to finishing off this version. But anyway, have a great evening, and this will keep me out of trouble, at least until school starts. Thanks.